Aloha and welcome to Rose Yoga, Tapping into Heart Courage. I'm Barushka. I'm a healing arts coach on the Big Island of Hawaii and an emotional freedom technique practitioner. And maybe you've already done a few of the tapping sequences with me. It is a new moon in Gemini today, and I have been loving honoring the new moons probably the last 7 years, and setting goals and setting intentions for the month, the 6 months ahead. And it's always a nice time for planting seeds, technically. If you want to have something that you want to begin and want that to develop and want to nurture that, I always love honoring the new moon in that way. And maybe we can tap into some things today that will help you explore that a little bit too and get a little more clear, or at least call something in that wants to maybe have a voice or find a voice. So we are dual by nature, right? We are the epitome of the yin and yang and the masculine and feminine that we all embody. And what's interesting is, if you're listening to this, then you probably have some sort of spirit-based life and are into personal development. And we often just really get down on ourselves. You know, that is the nature of our conditioning as well, that we're always striving and we're always making goals. And if we don't have enough energy or don't feel good or feel isolated or unsupported, and mostly judging ourselves, then we cannot rise to the next level because we're really stuck in that judgment. And so that creates the polarity, and when we're in polarity with ourselves, we're not really on board, and that's when we don't experience flow in our lives. So the reason why I practice emotional freedom technique is because it really did have a very significant impact on my life after doing years of psychoanalysis and counseling and hypnotherapy. I really didn't have a shift until I actually did the modality of the tapping and adding love and acceptance and forgiveness. And what's so powerful about it is that it basically honors the paradox of how we're built, of what our mind is telling us, what our body is feeling, the resistance, even though if we're only into creating affirmations or wanting to have a more positive lifestyle, our body is still communicating with fight or flight based on our makeup and our personal history and that of our culture and how that affects us. So that polarity really keeps those issues fully intact, because we have so much resistance to that we judge as negative or good or bad. So the beauty of adding the tapping of acceptance and forgiveness is really that you are honoring that both can be there side by side, and it doesn't make you a terrible or a bad person, or doesn't mean that you're not worthy of pursuing your goals or worthy of stepping up into your power or doing what you really want to be doing. And, you know, that can be on any scale or any part of your life. So what we're going through astrologically really is right now, and probably always, but really truly embracing the paradox. And so today I want to tap on accepting our duality, so that so it doesn't have that trigger over, so it doesn't have so much charge. What else? So yeah, once the polarity is kind of exposed, it really loses that power over us and just allows us to be back into our balance, back on both legs, and not denying one or the other, preferring one or the other, because, you know, that does create the imbalance. So why don't we honor that yin yang? And basically, you know, and also in terms of not good or bad, but in terms of yin and yang, it really does create the neutrality, that you're kind of taking the boogeyman out of the heavy feelings, out of the challenge, out of the anger, the sadness, the depression. So yeah, let's unmask that boogeyman that has that power over us, and for this new moon, really come into that neutrality, which also is when we don't have all that friction in our nervous system and body, mind, and spirit, we also are more effortlessly in our divinity. And divinity technically is androgynous. So it is like in that balance, it's the transcendence of the yin yang. So let's just try it out and see what happens. And we're not going to tap for too long. If you tried the last video on anger, wow, really shifted some things on that one. And when we do deleting something minus infinity, you know, it really just is another form of energy medicine, of visualizing all of that kind of, let's just call it gray matter, unfavorite energy, going through our meridians and down and out into the earth. So, you know, you can make it graphic in your mind or add some fun and intention. It's really, you know, it's about the attention follows the intention of it. So the intention is to just really call it out and let it go. So let's get started. And we're going to tap inside of the karate chop point, since we are all ninja masters here. Even though I want to have a really amazing life, part of me feels so challenged because I'm so identified with all of my obstacles and blocks. I'm so sorry. I have so much judgment about this. I love and accept myself, even with my challenges, even with my negativity, because I'm only human after all. Take a deep breath. This duality is really hard to deal with. I'm so uncomfortable because part of me just wants to be so pure and so good. Take a deep breath. Even though there's this paradox inside of myself, I want to be good and I want to be bad. I'm feeling good and I'm feeling bad. It's so confusing. I'm never just one or the other. I'm always changing. I'm choosing to empower myself with my gifts, and I love and forgive myself for having such resistance to my dualistic nature. Take a deep breath. All right. I hope you're following, and if you can just say these things out loud and repeat after me, just try it, and we'll see what happens. I'm feeling good today, only to feel guilty and upset later. I really wanted to have a good day. Now I'm screwed. I'm late, and I feel like a failure. So much for good intentions. Under my armpit. I love and accept myself, even though I am so freaking hard on myself. On the tummy, so you might start burping or yawning. Usually I'm burping through time and space for the collective, for whoever is doing it with me right now, so it's a good sign we're moving things. So I'm tapping with one or both hands, fingertips all around the tummy area, where we hold fear and grief and anxiety. This fear of being bad, this fear of not being a good person, this fear of just not being good enough. I'm so sorry. Every time I take one step forward, and then I stumble, and I feel like I'm taking 100 back. Am I evolving whatsoever? Sure doesn't feel like it. I'm so sorry for feeling like such a failure and being so heavy on myself. I'm only human, but I want to be superhuman. I'm only human, but I want to be Superman or Superwoman. I want to do it all. I want to feel great. I want to be respected. And I don't even approve of myself. This paradox. I want to change and I don't know how. In the tummy. I want to begin, but I don't know where to start. I have so much energy, and then I waste so much time. Then I feel so bad and guilty. I'm so sorry. Take a deep breath. Under the eye. What if I don't have anything to prove? Whose validation am I looking for? What would it take for me to know that I have nothing to prove? Only to myself. What if I'm the only person who needs to approve of myself? Feels pretty scary. Feels pretty lonely. Because I don't even know if I'm acceptable to myself. On the tummy. I have such high standards that I'm already so exhausted just trying to get started. I'm truly doing the best I can. No, I'm not. I can do much better. Fuck this. I just want to give up. I just want to give up being human. I just want someone else to do it for me. But I'm better than all the rest anyway. There's no one I respect. They don't even do it well enough. So I'm doubly screwed. Why even bother? Take a deep breath. This duality. I love and accept myself even with all of these thoughts and feelings in the tummy. This paradox. I love and forgive myself. This is just the innate wiring, things we have to weigh out in our lifetime. Good, bad, right, wrong, black, white. Take a deep breath. And now tap with both hands all around any of the areas that you want to usually protect. Even though I feel so unsafe being in this paradox, I have so many judgments and so uncomfortable with some of them. They really are not acceptable. That's okay. Right here, right now, I'm open to suspending judgment. And I delete this unsafety minus infinity. Take a deep breath. And shoot it down and out. So out of the palms of your hand, the soles of your feet, the base of your spine, your throat, imagine shooting into the ground, into the earth to compost and fertilize. Any sense of unsafety, anything that brings up unease, the moment that we only favor the good or that we only favor the one side, anything else is unsafe or doesn't make us a good person or tips the scales and creates that uncertainty. Shoot up all the wobbliness of unsafety, anxiety, fear. the hopelessness that we can't make it, the unworthiness, So all of that creates inconfidence, unsafety in our body, in our psyches, in our hearts. Shoot it down and out. Tune into that in your belly. Tune into that in your heart, in your solar plexus, and shoot out all the energy signatures of unsafety, shock, trauma, protection, self-protection mechanisms, defensiveness. I'm not like that. I would never do that. Take a deep breath. Just really shoot it out of your throat. All of any fear, panic, voicelessness, powerlessness, all of that makes us feel small, unsafe, weak, not good enough. Good. And tap on the tummy. I'm resolving this unsafetyness right now. Is that a word? I am strong to feeling unsafe. I allow myself to realize that I've lived long enough, and I'm wise enough, and I'm discerning enough to make smarter, bolder decisions for myself. Thank God I know both sides. That makes me more compassionate and empathetic. I forgive myself for all the judgments I have that create separation. Take a deep breath. I feel safe being me, and I'm scared shitless for what else is possible. It's so unsafe to be me. I feel so uncertain. I feel so unworthy to have a voice and to speak my needs. And I want to scream out and reach out. I want to crawl in a hole and die. Take a deep breath. These polarities, I love and accept myself deeply and profoundly. In the tummy, even though I am so terrified of being me more fully and showing and expressing myself and sharing my gifts lavishly and unselfconsciously, I'm safe to release this fear right now of expressing myself more fully. What if I share my fears and people relate to me more? What if I'm more truthful and people feel more connected to me and trust me more? What if I'm more honest with my feelings and I trust others more as a result? What if it's safe for me to connect with the world? We all have our issues. We're all so afraid of rejection, of misunderstanding, in the tummy of judgment. What would it take for me to release this resistance to stepping more fully into my power with the paradox of life and all? Everything between that, de-story, delete, uncreate, release. De-story, uncreate, release. Take a deep breath. And for fun, we're going to say a few of these polarities that we all embody and think or feel at some point, top of the head. Even though I want to blame, I also have so much mercy. Even though I'm so suspicious, I also completely trust. Even though I'm so terrified, I also take a lot of risks. Even though I'm so good-natured in my heart, I also enjoy being bad. It's way more fun for me. It's safe to be alone. Tell me. And it's also unsafe to be in my body or my mind sometimes. I want to run and hide. And I want to connect and ask for help. Top of the head. Good, bad, right, wrong. I love and accept myself. Fear of success and fear of failure. Feeling like a failure and feeling incredibly grateful. Feeling totally unworthy. And feeling righteous and deserving. Tell me, oh, my human nature. What a ride. I delete any pain I have about being me, minus infinity. Take a deep breath and shoot it down and out. And think about any of the things that are kind of sabotaging you right now, things that you know are standing in the way, behaviors, addictions, attitudes, any blocks you have right now. Let's shoot these down and out. Any burdensome pain, old stories from the past, childhood wounds and hurts, more recent hurts, disappointments, betrayals. Let's just shoot it down and out so that we can come into the neutrality of the presence and lean more and nurture the strengths of our gifts from here on out. Shoot it down and out, down and out. Good. Think about pain, 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 mental anguish, circular thinking, depression, physical challenges right now might be recurring that have some pain body signature. Just shoot it down and out with your more empathetic, merciful, compassionate, inner pocket Mother Mary. Take a deep breath. Also invite your ancestors right here, right now, to be the wisdom guides for you. No one wants to see you suffering from the soul plane. Good. Clearing through time and space. Tap on the tummy. It's easy for me to navigate this pain. I'm ready to resolve this pain now. It's safe for me to resolve this pain. Take a deep breath. Top of the head. It's safe for me to lean into my gifts. It's safe for me to cultivate my gifts. It's safe for me to have clarity around my purpose right now. I'm ready to step more into my purpose. I'm ready to be empowered by my heart's courage. Whatever passions I'm ready to pursue and self-express. I'm not afraid of the boogeyman. These boogeymans are attitudes of my past, programmed by the society, by my culture. I'm choosing to trust my heart. You tell me, I'm choosing to share my heart. I totally love and respect myself and the paradox of life. Top of the head. I love and accept myself, even with my man-made given duality, even with my inherent duality. I love and respect myself, and I'm empowering myself to make improved choices every day in every way. It's not too late for me. I allow myself to realize that I'm doing the best that I can, even when it doesn't feel like it. Part of me understands and accepts that I actually am. I'm so sorry to all those parts that still feel like I failed or that I gave up. Take a deep breath. Good job. Let's close this down now and let's anchor it in by putting the fingertips together and looking through the center. And let's go into the affirmation of, it's safe for me to develop my gifts now. Safe for me to express my true nature. I'm strong enough to share my true nature. I am strong in my true nature. I am worthy of my own fulfillment. I'm worthy of my own fulfillment. I am worthy of satisfaction. I am worthy. I am harmonious in my nature. I am harmony. Take a deep breath. Go to namaste and say thank you to your higher self and your inner child for being so perseverant and so strong and so willing. And thank you to Gaia, Mother Nature, for hosting this divine play. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Take a deep breath. Your mind might feel a little blank right now. It's the nature of tapping. Really gives your nervous system a little tune-up here and a little reboot and some regeneration on a cellular level. So I would just love to encourage you all, if you want to send me a note or to do some collaging. If you've ever tried it for new moon, that's another way besides journaling. And also what I'd like to do is honor some of the negative feelings or the negative beliefs or the challenges that I'm going through. And I like to incorporate them. And so one of the things I've been working with is my my project of Salt of the Earth, which is about the divine masculine rising and really being a stand for that in this world. And so I do use mixed media. I'm not a technical artist, but it has a mixture of my messages, the things I want to release, the challenges I have, and some collaging, and then symbols, and then layering, putting them together with watercolors and acrylic paints, and then you can add glitter. And anyway, you can do what you like. And also, you know, journaling the things that the beliefs that you're wanting to release, and then calling in the essences you're wanting to call in. I spontaneously did this the other night. Courage is contagious. After I pulled a few tarot cards, So I don't usually share these things, and yet this is so fitting for working on the paradox, because it really is, it's not about hiding the dark stuff. It's not hiding the fear. It's not hiding the negative beliefs that really can rule some of our life force and sabotage our days. So it's good to acknowledge them and speak them and see them and incorporate them and create that balance of the yin yang in our lives. So maybe you'll make a collage today, or inspire to, or journal about it, and honor yourself. Have mercy on yourself. And, you know, are we as generous with ourselves as we are in forgiving others? So take this time as you're in whatever growing pains. Just honor these pains, release them, keep tapping, really works. So big aloha from Hawaii, and see you next week. Aloha.